Huge congratulations to the New York Knicks, officially your finals winners. I'm calling my shot, Kev. I'm calling my shot. I'm
Very bold of you when they have a 3-1 lead. You really stepped out on a ledge
but
there.
they're winning it tonight. I mean, as of recording this, Game 5 is tonight. The Knicks are going to close it out, and we're going to sound like this is a wow, look at the finals recap podcast, even though we technically don't have the result of Game 5 yet.
And I don't think this series, and it's crazy because obviously you can't get and we'll get into that, but you can't get a much more emotional punch than the Spurs just got with blowing that game 4. I mean, quite literally, the one thing I will say, congrats to the Knicks for, because no matter what, you have pulled off, or I guess in games 5 through 7, who knows, maybe it could get beaten again, but you have pulled off the greatest comeback in NBA history. I try not to be hyperbolic after one game, but if we're talking a single performance and given the stakes here, yeah, this is the greatest comeback in NBA history, bar none. Like, they were down 29 points at this game. I mean, just full disclosure for game 5 for me, I was building a bed frame during the first half, and my full plan was to sit down and watch the second half. And then I finished right around halftime. I looked at the score and I said, you know what? I need to catch a bunch of sleep tonight. I'll watch it tomorrow.
It's over.
And I woke up, like, I had a pretty early wake up. I was up by like 5:30 in the morning, and I had like 12 ESPN notifications, and I was like, something is afoot if that happened.
Things went crazy.
And yeah, I mean, greatest comeback in NBA history. It's funny though, because, and I feel like a lot of times I've said, teams take a gut punch like that and you can't come back. I don't think this series is over for the Spurs. Like, I clearly, I think the Knicks are going to win the finals. Like, it would truly be a meltdown of epic proportions if the Knicks don't finish the job at this point. And we'll get into plenty of reasons why you can feel good about the Knicks finishing the job in a second. But for the Spurs, I think what you have to keep telling yourself over and over again is that we've played well in every one of these games. Like, there's a bizarro world where San Antonio is up 3-1 right now. If Wemby doesn't throw the ball off Stephon Castle's back, and if a combo of their entire offense collectively dies in the second half, and De'Aaron Fox doesn't have one of the biggest brain farts in NBA history, then we're looking at an entirely different series. But I think that's what you have to will yourself. And of course, you're going back for game 5 in San Antonio. It's like, hey, you're going to be on your floor. Don't get eliminated on your floor. You win game 5, all of a sudden you're back at the Garden. And if you get an early lead at the Garden, it starts to get nervous there. Like, that crowd goes from a lot like raucous and ready to close this out to like, we don't want game 7. Game 7, then the pressure would flip back onto New York, of course. So, I mean, do I think the Knicks are going to win the title? Yes, I do. I don't think they're going to blow a 3-1 lead. It just doesn't happen that often. But San Antonio is not out of this series. And I think you just have to keep telling yourself, hey, we've been in every one of these games. There's a chance, we got to be better in the clutch, but like, this series is far from over. We can still battle and make something out of this.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you on that. I just feel like with the epic implosion that was the 29-point lead, plus all the momentum, I mean, that's such an uphill climb to have to go win 3 in a row now. I don't think it happens. I'm kind of convinced New York closes it out tonight. Obviously, someone listening probably would know the results of that and make me sound like an idiot, or hopefully correct. But I think at this point it's a very safe bet to be like, congrats to the Knicks. At some point you're taking home this trophy, whether it's game 5 or game 6. If we are at a game 7, then I think that's where, like you were saying, the conversation becomes a different conversation at that point. I can see a world where the Spurs win game 5 because they're at home and it's cool. And honestly, I'm sure from a New York perspective, like, they probably just want to close it out, but winning at Madison Square Garden, winning the whole thing, game 6, probably would be like a more of a storybook ending kind of situation, though I'm not sure the city can handle it. There's a bunch of that going on, and that's stupid stuff. But regardless, one thing I was wondering is there were some comments about Thibs not caring about the bench or developing the bench.
Yeah, duh.
Right.
Yeah, yes.
Yes. But I guess my point is, Mike Brown, this is his first year, right? So, I mean, how much do you put on Mike Brown's coaching opposed to Thibs? And then I guess my question is, if Thibs is still the coach right now, do you think the Knicks are in this position?
No, I give a ton of credit to Mike Brown. I mean, Mike Brown, to me, he pushed the buttons that switched this offense. Like he kind of made the decision to go to more of a cat-centric offense all the way back in that Atlanta series. Again, you're right. He's hit the right buttons off the bench too, and it is getting guys involved. It's getting, obviously Shamet has been excellent this series, but even in these later games, you've had Jordan Clarkson appearances off the bench. Not as much in the finals. He's been kind of rough in the finals, but like Deuce McBride has been big for them during this run, of course. Like they've gotten quality contributions at a minute. I mean, Alvarado, your game 5 hero, but somebody who played a lot of good minutes for them early on, was a deadline acquisition that ended up being huge for them. Like, no, I think that matters. Tibbs was riding his guys into the ground, and I think that fatigue you started to see just later on. Like that starting 5 was good, and they played well under Tibbs. Like I think that was like you were getting minutes out of them, and you were winning playoff series. But like, yeah, it's pretty damning that as soon as Tibbs is gone, the bench starts cooking, and they're in the playoffs. Like depth, we've talked about, has been the key here in the NBA these last few seasons. Like that's been the trend. Those have been the teams that have won, have had quality depth. The Knicks this year have quality depth. I think it's showing out. Like that's been one of the biggest differences to me in this entire series, has been the Knicks bench has largely been better than San Antonio's bench. San Antonio's bench has largely been pretty non-existent for most of the series outside of Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper has been unbelievable. Borderline should be starting next year. But beyond Harper, bench has been pretty rough.
And I know De'Aaron Fox, like from a Spurs fan perspective, they're already talking about like there's like a GoFundMe to buy out his contract, and it's like you feel bad for the guy because like again, it's really his first year with this team and with everything figured out, and obviously like injuries kind of derailed the progression of that last year. But yeah, man, if Fox is up to his Kings standard stats, maybe this is a little bit of a different conversation. And, I don't know. I don't think all of it falls on him. I just know that's been a focal point of the frustration for the Spurs is De'Aaron Fox's play.
First off, shout out to our guy, Andy Jordan. Andy sent me a message already trading Fox's contract to the Rockets to move like Van Vliet and somebody else, and I just was like dying because it was the day after Game 4, and I was like, "Buddy, you wasted no time and immediately hopped on the trade machine." I respect that so much. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the Fox contract is expensive. Like he's right. Year 1 of a 4-year, $220 million extension starts next year. He's going to be due like high 50s, low 60s millions on that back end. That's a lot of money. Now, because of where the Spurs are, you do have to give Wemby the rookie extension, which of course is going to be a massive sum of money. But because of where they are, with Castle still being so young, with obviously Dylan Harper only going into year 2, there's not as much urgency on the cap as I think there needs to be. And I also think like I do want to give De'Aaron Fox what I'm hoping here is a little bit of a bailout in the sense that like I don't know if he's fully been healthy this entire playoff run. Like we know he had that ankle injury. He's had moments where he's looked good, but he's also had some moments where he's been pretty brutal on offense. All that said, De'Aaron Fox, buddy, you are the veteran on this team. You are 28 years old. You are a former clutch player of the year. How on earth? And look, I get it. De'Aaron Fox had a step, you see the basket, you go up, best case scenario, you hit the basket there and you get fouled. You really have a chance to put it away. But yeah, De'Aaron Fox, it's one of the worst decisions in NBA history. I mean, he's got to pull up there. I mean, you're probably going to burn 3 extra seconds of the clock at this point. So we're looking at what, like worst case scenario, 8 seconds left for the Knicks. And you've got 2 free throws to either be up 2 where that OG shot doesn't matter, or up 3 where that OG tip-in wouldn't even have they would have had to kick it back out. And you're probably, at that point, listen, we were ready to talk 2-2, and at 2-2 going back to San Antonio, it's like, hey, look out, this script may have flipped real fast, and it looked like that what was happening. Now instead here, right, the resiliency of the Knicks, we're talking about the greatest finals comeback in NBA history. And it is like De'Aaron. I mean, and give again OG Anunoby ton of credit too. You know, we talked a little bit last week. The guys that have raised their stock the most, like who just OG is a winner. Like he just plays winning basketball. He's shown it his entire career. The hustle to get back there, the situational awareness to know that nobody was guarding him on the perimeter because he had an open look on the tip in shot. He had an open look. Brunson took the shot. Obviously, not really going to argue with that. The way Brunson has been in these clutch, like you're gonna be okay with that. But they put the double on him, and again, that's where OG with the awareness to just immediately crash the glass there, get in front of those bodies, make such a brilliant play to get that tip in. And I mean, him not chasing that or giving up on that play and making that block on De'Aaron Fox. Like Fox is obviously one of the faster players in the NBA to get out on that break and to not foul. Most importantly, like that's such a huge play for OG Anunoby on that end. But yeah, De'Aaron Fox, like it's just at the end of the day too, like De'Aaron Fox, you got to have the awareness there to pull that back and get fouled. Like that's just an inexcusable lapse.
And maybe that goes back to not to really throw random King slander in here, but like how many games were the Kings really doing that?
So I am going to push back here a little bit and rare from the King slander because you're right, but also like De'Aaron Fox is there during Beam Team.
I know.
The year after they were relevant and in the playoffs, like he was a part of two of the better Kings years there. It is ironic that there's that clip going around and Mike Brown criticizing him for a play. There was a regular season game. It was Mike Brown's last regular season game they lost because Detroit hit a 4-point play. The Kings are up 3 points. Fox closed out late, fouled the guy in the corner. He hit the shot and hit the free throw. They ended up losing that game, and Mike kind of criticized him a bit and got fired the next day. There was a little bit of irony after the way that 4 played out, and I don't want to boil it down to just De'Aaron Fox either. Like Wemby missed 2 free throws late, and realistically, his offense cooled off a little bit in the second half. Like the Spurs just kept chucking, and I understand it's hard to not have that temptation because they did. Like that's what's going to get lost too is the Spurs hit an NBA Finals record for 3-pointers in the first half of the game. They were on fire. It was everybody was knocking down their shots. And listen, when it's working, you don't want to necessarily get away with that, but maybe that's where some of the experience here kicked in because right, and you can't be bombing away like that. It gave the Knicks extra possessions. It gave them life. Like you need to be eating up that clock, and they just didn't. And for the Knicks to not only come back and win this game, where they were down so much, the other reality too is that Karl Anthony Towns had 2 fouls in the first minute of this game. That's a big red light going off for the Knicks, and where you're like, this team is going to be in trouble. To find a way to win that game is just it's unbelievable. It truly was a historic moment. I mean, it's if they close this out, there's an argument that that's the greatest game in MSG history, and that is really saying something. So, what else can you say?
Well, the other thing I did want to point out, and I alluded to it last week in our conversation, and it's not like any earth-shattering thing, but this finals run, and even these last 4 games in general, Josh Hart is a perfect example, counter argument, whatever you want to call it, for somebody that is a stats driven, like make assumptions person, if that makes sense. Like Josh Hart stat wise, fine is whatever. I mean, even in that comeback game, he had 6 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, like all of his stuff that he's doing on the court. Like he's a plus 11. I think he was the second highest, tied with Jose Alvarado, Jalen Brunson. Those 3 were tied for the second most plus minus, whereas Karl Anthony Towns was plus 17. He was the highest on the team. But I guess my point is he's doing so much that's not like the intangible stuff. I know that sounds like so cliche to say, but like the stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. I mean, those stats I told you, the 6, 8, and 6, and that's in 32 minutes, almost 33 minutes in that game. You compare that to Brunson's 44 minutes, but 36 points, and it goes to say the thing the Knicks have working for them right now is you've got 4 people on that team that if you told me scored over 30 points, I'd believe you. Like in any game, you just said, oh, Cat dropped a 30-point game. Yep, I believe you. Mikal Bridges dropped a 30-point game. Yep, I believe you. Jalen Brunson, OG, 30-point game. Yep, I believe you. So, like, Josh Hart, from a scoring perspective, though he's not he's not like needed for that and never has really been that. But like, you've got so many scorers, you need a facilitator, and that's what Josh has been doing a lot of. And that's kind of the cool part of at least Josh's story. And, where he fits with the Knicks is he does the grunt work, I guess, for lack of a better example.
No, and it's part of the identity.
Right. It's part of the identity, but it's the first time in a while that I feel like we've got a player that we could literally pull probably the whole playoffs stat wise and show like, look, these numbers, you would be like, whatever. But it's like, no, he's a huge part of why this team's winning and why they're able to do what they're doing, because he's essentially facilitating for everybody else and doing the dirty work, almost out rebounding Cat in game 4,
Yeah, and I think Knicks have a few guys like that, and I think it's why it works. They all know their roles well, because like you're right, Bridges can pop, but like Bridges largely, I think is doing a lot of that. Like OG Anunoby, offensively is on a heater right now, and I think that's been one of the biggest things for the Knicks too. Is like he's playing well beyond his typical offensive depth, but like that's typically why he's good though. It's like he's not scoring 30 points tonight, but he impacts the game in other ways.
Weirdly enough, OG in that game 4 in 41 minutes was 7 for 9 from 3, 77% from 3, 33 points. He shot 67% field goal percentage. He was still a negative, plus minus -1, which is wild when you think about it. Like, again, that's just to show stats can be, swayed any kind of way you need them, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, 100%. I mean, look, it just goes beyond counting stats at one point, and that's where I think you get a picture of advanced, and you get a picture of the eye test, or you just have the eye tests that help out. Like you can see guys making winning plays, even if it's not necessarily showing up. I mean, the other thing with the Knicks too, and this is where you probably got to feel, you said going obviously back that you think they close out tonight. I think the one thing that if you're a Knicks fan, that even with the Spurs being in every game and with there being a nerves here still a little bit, there's nothing else in this playoff run you can feel good about. It's your performance in elimination games, right? Like Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, last game against the Cavs, 130-93. Knicks in the second round, last game against the Sixers, 144-114. Knicks in game 6 against the Hawks, 140-89. That was like that 60-point lead that they had at one point. Like they have thoroughly dominated every one of these closeout games, and every one of them has been on the road, where they played pretty well all postseason as well. Of course, in this finals, they've already won 2 games in San Antonio already, so I don't think they have any, necessarily, or there's a surprise there, or of any doubts, I should say. They know they're very capable of doing that. But I mean, I think that's the one thing you probably hang your hat on more than anything if you're a Knicks fan, is saying, hey, our best games of this playoff run so far have come in elimination games. Like, why would we not feel like we're going to have a chance to close it out? San Antonio's got to be loud. Like I said, they were, game 3 kind of went the way I expected, in that San Antonio was going to bounce back. We'll see. There's definitely, I keep going back and forth on my prediction in this one, because it's hard for me to see the Spurs team lose at home. And like I said, with them playing well, this doesn't feel like a gentleman's sweep. But also, like, the Knicks, after that win, it's like, hey, at this point, you just got to give it up. It's the Knicks' year. Like, there's no other way around it, it feels like.
You guys want to push it one more game so that they can go win it in MSG? Like, okay, sure. But I think most people listening to this podcast right now know that the Knicks have already won the whole thing.
It would be very Knicksian, and I'm not even saying that for a hating perspective, truly. But the Knicks playing a 3-1 lead would really be very on brand. But nothing about this Knicks team, I counter that to say, because I'm going to sound like I'm hating. Nothing about this Knicks team has been on brand. They've won so many games during this run that the Knicks have never won traditionally, that they would lose every single time. I mean, even game 2, like, people forget in game 2, they had their own 6-minute disaster stretch of offense where nothing went going, but they were able to find a way to win. So, listen, when it's your year sometimes. Things just go your way. And I mean, it has been the little things in this series so far. I mean, 2 1-point games, like every one of these games has been competitive. This has been a tremendously entertaining final series. Like, there is a sicko part of me from a pure basketball fan perspective that does want it to go 7 somehow. But you're right. I'm with you. I think by the next time we're podcasting, we're talking about the New York celebrations in that city absolutely losing their mind. It's just a question to see of how long it's going to take. I mean, we'll see. Game 7 would be next Friday.
Yeah, the schedule is game 5 is tonight. Tuesday's game 6 if we need it. And then Friday the 19th would be game 7, a holiday, if you will. When on the holiday, though.
Oh yeah, it's true. Wow, it is Juneteenth. You're right. That's crazy.
Though, there's no. I'll be in Cancun at that point. So cool. That would give you another thing to watch while I'm in Cancun. But bro, there's no way basketball this season is still going on Juneteenth.
We'll see. I mean, listen, don't tempt the basketball gods, or unless you're trying to reverse jinx it. That'd be kind of sick.
I mean, look, again, I'll be in Cancun, so I'll have a good time watching it. I'm just telling you, there's no way. I don't even think I think the season's over tonight. I don't think June 14th, the NBA season for 2026 is still going. So,
yeah, I mean, we will see. I mean, I'm certainly looking forward to watching it. It's been an extremely entertaining series. We'll see if we're here next week still talking about it or if this is wrapped up. But either way, it definitely one of the better. Finals been good recently. There's been a few meh years, but these last two now have been good. So hopefully it keeps trending in that direction. Even if it ends in 5, I still won't go, oh, that wasn't a fun finals. I'll go, no, every one of these games is competitive. Maybe. Or the Knicks might win by 40 again tonight. Who knows? Welcome, everybody, to the Drive and Dish NBA podcast. My name is Kevin Rafuse. Joining me, as always, my co-host, Justin Cousart.
LeBron James became the first and only player to lead an entire playoff series in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. The same time that the Golden State Warriors blew a 3-1 lead in the series finals, winning in 2016.
Yeah, that I've said before that, we just said that I thought the Knicks game was the greatest comeback of all time. Obviously, the 3-1 comeback is the greatest series comeback to me. We've seen a few 3-1s, but I think given the magnitude, you're not getting much better than that currently. Nobody's pulled the 3-0 comeback in NBA yet. It's happened in other sports, but it hasn't happened in NBA yet. That game 7 with the Warriors and Cavs, that's probably the best single game of basketball I've ever seen. There were a few that were close. I think of that Miami series with San Antonio in 2013 that had a few great games. Game 6, obviously. That game 7 was electric too.
LeBron in that year, just because I have it up from the stat, game 6, he scored 41, 8, and 11. And then in game 7, he did 27, 11, and 11. Which was obviously the victory to seal the deal, which is, back-to-back double-doubles. Again, like we said, leading essentially in all the main point stats for the series is pretty legit. And I think he averaged no, never mind. That's what they were talking about. He had 4 stats. So points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks is what he led in the playoff categories. So
yeah.
Just a wild. I remember watching it, but even just looking back now, it's you still sometimes forget. Wow, he was just absolutely cooking.
I don't think, and again, I was a kid when Prime Jordan was playing in the 90s, but at least for me, that's the best basketball player I've ever seen play basketball during those years. There was no one on the planet better than LeBron at that point. He was single-handedly, and again, we're talking about the 2016 Warriors. This is a team that won 73 games. This is a dynasty. He's not he's out here playing against some random one-off team that made it to the finals somehow. This was high-level hoops at its finest. It's also kind of hilarious in hindsight because when you really go back and think about it, of course, the Warriors pre-KD, the Warriors win in 15, where the Cavs win 2 games, but they don't have Kyrie or Kevin Love. The Warriors then lose. The Cavs get their revenge in 2016. And if you look at both of those series, the years they won probably should have been flip-flopped. The Cavs absolutely should have won in 2015. The Warriors were nowhere near a season yet. They didn't have, the Cavs were missing their 2 top guys, and they still almost lost that series. And the Warriors had no business blowing that 3-1 lead. They absolutely should have finished the job there and won that year. So, just kind of interesting the way that played out. But,
just goes to show not everything's a given, but to our current finals, I think it's a given right now.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see. Leave us a review on iTunes, good or bad. We'll read them on the podcast if you're not an Apple user, Google Play Store, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Player FM, anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find us.
And we are on YouTube. Just search Drive and Dish NBA. You can watch a video of the podcast and obviously the Immaculate Grids and stuff like that. There, just search Drive and Dish NBA. Subscribe. You'll get notifications when new episodes are coming out.
Now, a word from our sponsors.
So one thing we did miss through the chaos of us being out and then playoffs starting and kind of having to do our thing was the awards coming out. We never actually kind of commented on those awards. Obviously, SGA, the headliner of those awards, winning MVP this year, which a lot of people alluded to Wemby being pissed off having to watch that happen, essentially, to that Wemby winning the Defensive Player of the Year award.
Unanimous Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me, right? Like it's. I mean, look at him.
No, still though, unanimous. I mean, you're right. No, there's no doubt about it. He was definitely the best defensive player in basketball this year. But yeah, unanimous is still pretty impressive. I feel like that's worth highlighting.
I completely agree. And then Keldon Johnson of the Spurs getting Sixth Man of the Year in terms of just mentioning teams that are kind of the last four teams that were out there. I mean, did anything stick out for you? I guess if we're talking about Sixth Man of the Year for Keldon Johnson, he set a Spurs franchise record for bench points, 1,081, which they pointed out Spurs-wise only Keldon Johnson and Manu are Spurs six-man winners. So good for him. And
yeah, I mean, he edged out Jaquez in Miami and Tim Hardaway Jr. in Denver to win the award. I think it's very fitting for Keldon Johnson. I mean, when you talk about the San Antonio team, like he's the figure who's been there the longest. Like he's one of the rare not new faces in that locker room.
Yeah.
Of course, he's having a finals to forget right now. So I think that's probably the only little disappointing thing is I think you talk about him being Sixth Man of the Year. They haven't really gotten anything out of him in the finals. So maybe there's a little, it's a little bittersweet in hindsight the way that maybe SGA's MVP feels currently with him winning back to back. But I don't think that should take away. Like both of them deserve those awards. I think they were the right call. I do fully understand.
I feel like these awards, because they're such like a regular season award, I know, but giving them out during the playoffs leaves room for like, well, Keldon Johnson's not playing that well right now. That's where, like, honestly, take a week between between regular season and playoffs, announce the award there, just get them out before any playoff starts. It just feels like it would flow a little better.
Yeah, no, I get that.
End the season. Wait till the end of the season, but I think people will still use playoff. Like they could get swayed by the playoffs. Is my point.
No, definitely. I think waiting until the end of the season makes it even worse because then they'll just go, oh well, if they flopped out of the finals, and I mean there are those awkward situations that happen. Like I go back, I think Dwayne Casey winning Coach of the Year and then immediately getting like swept out of the playoffs and fired. It was super awkward.
Yeah.
Some of the other awards, though, this year, Coach of the Year, Joe Mazzulla, I think that one is one of the closer ones. But I think given Tatum being out and the fact that Boston finished second in the Eastern Conference, yeah, and so it's hard for me to go against that. I mean, the other people that you think about, I mean, honestly, Mitch Johnson in San Antonio with how big of a step they took this season. I think of Mark Daigneault still in OKC, just being good from top to bottom. Of course, JB Bickerstaff as well. A lot of credit for the Pistons there taking the leap.
Honest question from a Rookie of the Year standpoint, like you look at it, it was obviously Cooper Flagg won it. Khan was second. VJ was third. Dylan Harper fourth. Yeah. Dylan Harper didn't get any first place votes or second place votes, just 5 third place votes. Like, and I know it's not a playoff award, but like looking back, it's like, well, I mean, I get it. Khan was shooting the threes. Cooper Flagg's a big name. VJ was playing great for Philly, but like, look who's still there. Look who's in a fine. You know what I mean? Like,
hard disagree though. And again, that's kind of where that's the playoff bias. It's not a playoff award. And like Dylan Harper's going to be all of these guys. All the 4 of those guys you just mentioned are awesome. And like that's what's crazy about the award this year is it was like, hey, you really do got a bunch of studs up here. To be honest, this is the most controversial one to me. I think Khan should have won it. Like Khan had one of the highest off-ball 3-point shooting percentages in NBA history. The Hornets took a huge leap this year. Cooper Flagg is probably going to be better long term. But if you ask me who had the best season this year,
I think so
I
too.
think Khan had a better season. Like, I think that when, maybe they gave his teammates a little bit of credit. And I feel like Cooper Flagg, given that he was such a highly touted prospect, like, I feel like this almost like got ordained a little bit. And I don't know. Like, and I'm fine with both of them winning it, or I'm fine with Khan winning it over VJ too. Like, obviously, a Homer hat on VJ Edgecombe was phenomenal, and I think he's going to be really good for a long time. But I don't think that's any knock on him there. I think you can just put the other two slightly ahead of him. All four of those guys you mentioned, though, are going to be really good for a long time.
Well, I feel like you could kind of use the play-in tournament for Khan's upside, if that makes sense, like to kind of use that as a justification over Flagg. Like, his play with them got them into the play-in tournament, whereas Dallas was Dallas. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. They were kind of a dumpster fire, and Flagg can only do so much, but from a lot of times you talk about that with the MVP. From a team standpoint, who's performing, whose team did better because of their play too, And I get it. The counter argument is Dallas without Cooper Flagg would have been holy cow bad,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I get it though, but like I don't like that argument. Like, and it's not even, that team wouldn't even have been holy cow bad. And they weren't that much. They would have been that much worse than they were this year anyway. And so that's kind of my thing. And again, I think Cooper Flagg is going to be awesome. I think he's going to be great for a very long time. But yeah, Khan had a better season. His team did better on top of it. Like, they were just, when the stats are that close, I am gonna defer to winning here a little bit. And you can say that he had better talent around him, but like, did he? Like, that Charlotte team last year was nowhere near the playoffs.
Well, yeah, and injuries can be a part of that as well. But
100%.
I agree with you. I think the Hornets making the play-in tournament is a big part of the counter argument to Flagg getting the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, well, I mean, Khan had slightly better stats too in certain things, but yeah, no, I think the point is, I think that's the one that's the most controversial here. None of the rest of these, I mean, yeah, like I said, Wemby pretty unanimous for DPOY, well, literally unanimous for DPOY. Brad Stevens, Executive of the Year, I'm not mad at that. Shout out to DeAndre Jordan, Teammate of the Year. Still getting these contracts, NBA, being a good guy off the bench down there in New Orleans this year. And another Charlotte award as well. The Hustle Award went to Moussa Diabate. And he's a guy who, broke out this year. Most improved player is Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Only reason I'm surprised there is because he was pretty good in Minnesota last year. Like, I feel like he kind of almost like did break out a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, phenomenal as well. Once he went to Atlanta, new contract there, huge part of their turnaround. Just the epitome of what you need out of a 3-and-D wing guy in the NBA. Another one of those guys that just plays winning basketball.
Winning basketball, and obviously a big part of his conversation is the amount of minutes that he logged. It was like 530 more minutes this season than last. So like, that'll help you improve as well if you're just on the court more. And obviously shooting at a good percentage as well. So I don't want to take away from that, but it's worth mentioning.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, and listen, that does matter in those minutes. We could see.
Which, by the way, it's worth mentioning, he's cousins with SGA.
I always forget that.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool. It's keeping it in the family. 2 awards for a family.
I do always forget that. And that's one of those things that you would say, and you'd be like, why are you saying that? Because they both got hyphens in their name for some reason. Be like, right. What is a what? That's how they're, but yeah, I do guess, forget about that.
But yes, no, they are cousins, which I forgot about. Honestly, I remember talking about it. One of the years we did a basketball fantasy league, I had him on my team because of his 3-point shooting. I was going to try to win that category. And I remember realizing that they were cousins. And honestly, until like probably 20 seconds ago when I just read it on the NBA.com site, I had forgotten they were cousins.
Yeah. No, 100%. So, I mean, like I said, I kind of forgot about it too. So, all right, let's switch gears a little bit. Do some who's balling, who's falling. Our NBA version of the stock market. We always like to start with good before the bad. We haven't checked in our stock market in a little bit in a few weeks, so let's do that. Balling for me this week, though, ironically, it's not going to be the NBA. It's going to be the big three, who is eyeing a $290 million valuation. They're planning to go public this year. Again, this is Ice Cube's league. It's been in effect now for quite a few years. I mean, I'll be the first to admit has been way more successful than I ever thought it was going to be. With a mix of older NBA guys, older college stars. They made a viable business model here. So, give them credit. We'll see how the IPO does. Obviously, like I have no insight into what the valuation or anything like that is going to be, but I mean, that's pretty crazy though. If and maybe they are. Well, again, we'll see how the IPO plays out. But like, if they're expected to be worth $290 million, like I said, this felt like kind of a random idea from Ice Cube, and so for this to take off the way it has, give them a lot of credit for that.
I know we mentioned that I wasn't going to do a Ballin, Kev, but I forgot. I don't think we ever talked about this, but Curry's new endorsement deal.
Oh, with Li Ning?
Yeah, with the sports company, $400 million. Hell yeah, that's Ballin.
yeah, that China money over there with Li Ning.
Holy cow!
Who was it? Yeah. Was Wade the first one? I think Dwayne Wade was the first one to take one of those, and I remember how big of a deal that was at the time because it's not just Li Ning now. Like Anta obviously has been big over there as well, and I mean they had Clay a few years ago. I mean 400 mil, and it's crazy too because I mean Curry was already getting the bag from Under Armour. I mean Under Armour, their basketball, it feels like has been kind of up and down, with the exception of Curry. Like they're not being worn as much off the court, I feel like, but on the court, I feel like all the younger like AAU type age kids are wearing the Curry sneaker these days. Like it felt like they really took off. I'm surprised that like truly that Under Armour wasn't able to kind of lock him into some sort of lifetime deal. The way that, like Nike has with LeBron, for example, just because of the valuation there. I mean, because Under Armour's basketball division has gotten kind of weak here in the last few years. Like, I mean, they lost, like, I'm trying to think who's left. They lost Curry now. They lost Embiid to Skechers. Let me look at who they have.
Hold on. Under Armour NBA players. Let's see.
I mean, they have a few from the W. I mean, Kelsey Plum's the most famous from the W currently. I mean, dude, they've got
Davion Mitchell. It says is.
Yeah, it's David. Their biggest three right now are Davion Mitchell, Aaron Wings, and De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is the biggest there by far.
Fox.
But I'm saying
they didn't
that's a big fall off from Embiid and Curry to go to Fox now. So we'll see. But that's definitely one. Like I said, when it kind of felt like they had turned the corner a little bit there when you have Curry and they had given him his own brand and stuff like that. So for him to leave is surprising.
A lot of the articles on this, it makes sense, right? Like this is a global move more than it is like a states move, if that makes sense. Like it's bigger than NBA, if that makes sense.
China's got way more people than the United States does, way more.
Apparently he had according to this article, he had another deal that was more lucrative, but opted to go with this one instead. So I'd be curious to know what that one is. I doubt we'll ever know. But I saw a stat. I can't find it, but it was the money that he's made lifetime with Under Armour compared to what he's going to make for this. And it's
it's way more.
It's a no-doubter move. Like, no doubt you're going to do that move. Like, come on. So yeah.
Just because I'm looking at him So with Li Ning, beyond Steph now, they have Jimmy. Jimmy Butler is there as well. So there you go. You got the teammates together. Wade was the original one. And so we mentioned before, still does have Clay. They have Kyrie as well, post him leaving Nike. I mean, the other ones you kind of know, like Kawhi is the face of New Balance. He's been that for a bit. Nike, of course, still has LeBron, Devin Booker, KD, Giannis, Ja Morant. Jordan Brand, Luca, Jason Tatum, Zion, Adidas has Harden, Dame, Donovan Mitchell, Ant.
Dude, how fun would that be? Okay, hear me out, NBA. Make all the brands, they're going to have to pay a ton of money, but your next all-star weekend is going to be shoe brand or brands versus brands. So like Under Armour team versus Adidas team versus New Balance team. How fun would that be?
I hate it because of the corporate impacts, but like
Yeah,
I fully like some of these matchups I endorse. It'd be a lot of
dude,
fun.
that would be
Team
so cool.
Puma, Team Puma is hilarious because like at the top you've got LaMelo Ball and Tyrese Halliburton, so it's like all right, two pretty good ones
Then
there,
you're
and then you
like,
got Scoot Henderson. It's just like no
dude,
disrespect
and
to Scoot, but
also
it's like what's Scoot doing there?
Immaculate Grid, that could be a category going forward, is like New Balance shoes and the Hawks. Like that would make things kind of tough because
Yeah.
that's a little outside of ball, but would be kind of fun. I can't find this graphic. I wish I could find it. I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up if I can find it, but either way.
Who's fallen for you?
Fallen for me, I guess technically is going to go to Tyler Hero's brother, who, who has sparked a lot of rumors. Tyler Hero has removed the Heat and stopped following them the whole off-season, go to when stuff might be going on. He also has a cryptic post out there.
He's on Giannis watch too, huh?
His brother posted, posted a buck. I'll say a buck, but he posted a buck is like the first comment in the comments. So a lot of people are like, "Did he just leak? What's gonna happen here?" So either way, I think I saw the stats or the betting odds as to where Giannis is going to go, and it's very high for the Heat at the moment. So we'll see if that actually happens and where it goes this offseason. But it seems like the Heat is kind of the most likely destination at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like the Heat, Orlando, and then I forget. Well, I'm blanking on the third team that's been pretty rumored to be in the mix. But yeah, those are Miami. Does seem like it certainly has the most smoke right there.
Warriors were mentioned at one point, but that just might be because it's the Warriors,
I think before Jimmy deal and all that, there definitely was interest there too. Which I mean, yeah, hard to blame that. The thought of Steph playing with Giannis is pretty intriguing, but. Either way, we shall see. We will have plenty of summer pods to talk about Giannis watch. I think that's going to be one of the bigger trades that we're all kind of waiting on.
I will be curious to see what the haul is. Like if it's Tyler Hero, it can't just be Tyler Hero. So how many picks are with that? Pick swaps are with that. Other players from the team are with that. Like I would be very curious to see what that looks like when it's all said and done.
Do you believe the Boston smoke there? That'd be the interesting one if they move Jaylen Brown.
And Jaylen Brown mentioned this was the most fun he had all season. Like maybe dude does want to be by himself and not be a number two.
He said so much without saying anything, only because it's like, bro, Jaylen, you won the finals and a finals MVP the other year. That wasn't the most fun season. Like, got it. Say less.
Right. I could see though, if he didn't mean it that way, I could see that coming and biting him in the ass and being a reason that dude, and that would piss me off so much if he goes to Boston, but dang, Boston would be so good with him and Tatum. Holy cow.
What are you giving up? I think it depends what you
Browns, I think if compared to Tyler Hero, you can give up less if you're giving Brown, if that makes sense.
I agree with that, but I still don't think you're going to have to give up nothing.
No, but I bet you could do Brown, maybe a player or two, develop player, and maybe some pick swaps, and maybe you get it done. Whereas the Heat, I think you're having to give multiple draft picks and pick swaps and players and Tyler Hero. Like the haul might be numerically less because of how good Jaylen Brown is.
Yeah, no, 100%. But all right, shall we switch gears here a little bit? Go and play some Immaculate Grid.
Oh, look at that. They did do a new category.
Oh, I love new categories.
Just in time for soccer. Let's go.
Oh, the America born. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Team USA looked good last night. Like I was like, hold on now. This is not the men's USA team I'm used to.
They stuck with Knicks and Spurs, which is good. Nets is a little annoying because I feel like I know so little about the Nets all the time. I feel like the Nets is one of the teams. The Nets, the Grizzlies, probably Milwaukee.
It's funny with the Nets because I feel like I can do the Nets like in modern era, but they're one of those teams that if you ask me to do like the older team, like say the Bulls are the biggest example of that for me. You give me the Bulls post 90, I can rattle off tons of players. You give me the Bulls pre MJ, I have no idea who the hell played for the Bulls.
All right, well.
So for the I guess first off we should I guess I should introduce what's on the grid this week. And again, you can always watch you can watch the Immaculate Grid on YouTube. Just search Driving Dish NBA podcast. Our columns from left to right this week: the Brooklyn Nets, 10,000 career rebounds, and American born. are rows from top to bottom, the Spurs, the Knicks, and all NBA. So there is no Elfrid Payton connect, unfortunately. He did play for the Knicks. He did not play for the Nets. He
Is
certainly did
he?
not have 10,000 career
He's
rebounds.
American
He is
born.
American born. So I guess actually there is one. Would you like Elfrid Payton to be your Knicks and American born connection?
Yes. Oh, look at that! It already pulled him up. It already knew. Yeah, there we go. Point zero 5,
0.05%.
dude.
Nice.
Come on, Elfrid Payton. We know what's up.
It's funny with the
Okay.
Spurs and American born, and you like immediately go, huh, I got to think about this more than I might have to with typical when I go to their
Dude, the
first
first
players.
3 names that came to my head were like, I don't think those are actually American born.
Tim was born in the U.S. Virgin Islands. He's American, but he wasn't born in mainland America. Yeah, Parker.
And my first thought with the Spurs always goes to like Patty Mills and
That's so insane. My first thought with the Spurs goes to Patty Mills. Respect to Patty, but like what?
Well, because especially in this case, because I'm always trying to think of like who's the lesser known point guards from that time at some point. Patty Mills, and then there's one other, I'm forgetting him now too. But either way, I believe Rudy Gay would also work there. I think he's American born. Rudy Gay was on the Nets.
Was he?
I don't know.
I don't think he was on the Nets at all.
Was.
No.
I think he's American.
He's definitely American born.
And he played for the Spurs.
He did play for the Spurs.
So we could do him there.
I'm trying to think of somebody on their bench, though. There's got to be somebody on their bench who's way lower than Rudy Gay
right now?
is.
Spencer Hawes. No, not Spencer Hawes. Kelly Olynyk is there right now. I don't think, is he American?
Kelly Olynyk. No, Kelly Olynyk is Canadian.
Canadian. Okay. Who else is there? That Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, Harrison Barnes is American. That works.
He hasn't played a lick this playoff series, but he's there. Harrison Barnes is there.
I'm fine with I'm fine with HB.
Harrison Barnes. Did he play for the Nets? No.
No, I'm trying to think where Golden State. Dallas.
Dallas is where he went after Golden State. Yeah. Harrison Barnes, 0.9. Look at that.
I can't believe that almost cracked. I guess he's on the roster now. I was gonna say, I can't believe that almost cracked one, but yeah.
All right. Do we think? I feel like we've been down this road before too. Joakim Noah, does he have 10K? Because didn't he play on the Knicks at the end?
He did play on the Knicks at the end. I don't think he is 10K though. I think he's a little bit short.
Dude,
the Knicks in 10K.
Did Vooch play for the Knicks before he came to the?
No, unfortunately.
Sixers.
No.
Because who did we?
No, Sixers drafted Vooch.
No, but we traded with, who am I trying to think? There was a great rebounder that we traded with the Knicks at one point. He wouldn't have 10K. He was young. It might have been, I think we traded him to the Knicks, not from us. Maybe I got it wrong.
A great rebounder?
Yeah, he was younger. It was a few years back, and I remember being annoyed about it. The same I was annoyed about Vooch going to Orlando. Can't remember his name though. Okay, well, I'll move on.
I gotta be honest, I have no idea who you're talking about right now. I'm surprised.
Let me just. Well, I don't want to. I'll look it up on my phone. I'll just look Sixers Knicks trades.
Nixon. Nixon 10K. The two obvious ones are Patrick Ewing and Tyson Chandler. Both of them worked there. I'm trying to think if there's any because I don't know anybody currently who's got 10K. Cat doesn't have 10K.
Yeah.
I mean, Spurs you got Duncan and Robinson. Those are two clear, easy ones there. I mean, Wemby probably will one day, but not quite yet.
Yeah. Duncan.
Oh, Spurs have Powell. I think Powell's got 10K too.
Powell's a good one. You want to try that?
I kind of do. Yeah. Powell's he's going to be so much lower than Tim Duncan is.
Yeah. Yep. There you go.
He's got 10. Okay. I got a little nervous there for a sec. I'm not going to lie, but okay. And so 10K All NBA is easy. USA All NBA is easy.
Yeah.
Brooklyn All NBA low key is pretty easy too, honestly.
Brooklyn. Well, so then really the two that'll be the ones that take us a second might be Knicks, Spurs, Nets. Can't figure it
Yeah,
out.
because I'm trying to think of Spurs and Nets now, and I like don't. There's like not a big one that jumps off the page for me.
No, like did no, not here. Like a Jeff Green, not Bridges, Matt Barnes. He was Knicks. No.
I feel like Matt Barnes was on the Knicks. I think.
I'm more worried about Nets. The one I'm so unsure about Nets.
No, I don't think Matt. I don't think he was on the Nets. I mean, Jeremy Lin works for Knicks and Nets.
Patty Mills. Did he ever go to the
I
Nets?
think Patty Mills actually does work for the Nets. I don't know if he went.
I don't know.
If he played for the. I don't know if he played for the Knicks though. He definitely works for Nets and Spurs.
Yeah, Nets Spurs he works. Knicks.
Oh right.
I don't know about Knicks.
I mean, if you want to do Patty Mills for Nets and Spurs, I'm fine there. I don't think I have anybody better. Put it that way.
Did Tiago Splitter ever end up on the Nets?
Dude, I don't know why Tiago Splitter has been on your radar in these last like 7 grids, but no, I don't think he played for anybody other than the Spurs, man.
No, he played with the Hawks. He was on the Hawks.
I think he played for the Hawks, and then I think he played for the Sixers for like 5 seconds.
Oh, I didn't even remember the Sixers.
He did. He was on the process. It's kind of funny.
Oh wow. Okay, so Patty Mills here. Patty Mills. There we go. Yeah, 13%. Dang. Okay.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm really actually curious to see what the top answer is there. I feel like we're missing somebody like kind of big, but like I'm trying to think of reason. Like Brooke Lopez never played there, KG never played there. Like Paul Pierce, Joe Johnson, KD, Harden, Kyrie. Like all their bigger names.
Did what's his name only go to Charlotte after the Spurs before he retired?
Tony Parker, yeah.
I was like, there's no like one weird like one-off that he did.
Oh, no, who's gonna work for
Boris Diaw? No.
Oh my God, who's a Hall of Famer, works for Nets and Knicks? Jason Kidd.
Oh, Jason Kidd's a good one.
Yeah, Jason Kidd's obviously one of the best players in Nets history.
You want to do Jason Kidd?
Yeah, it's gonna be high. I mean, it's either that or Linsanity, but let's do Jason Kidd.
Jeremy Lin, I forgot. He's been in the news a lot recently too because of Carmelo talking about him.
Yeah, he was on the Mellow Pod. I haven't watched that yet, but I'll probably check that out at some point.
Jason Richardson, Jason Collins. No.
R.I.P. Damn.
Yeah. 18%. Still kind of lower than I thought it would be.
Lower than I thought too, honestly, given for how prominent Kidd is on the Nets, and in their history.
Yeah.
All right, so Knicks 10K, I gotta be honest, like the only ones that are coming to mind right now are Tyson and Ewing. Ewing is certainly going to be higher. I don't know if Willis Reed had 10K. I don't think there's anybody who that was there in the 2000s that would have had, like, I'm trying to think of people that came there late in their careers, but
yeah,
I don't know. I only have those two, I think.
Tyson and who else was around when? No, yeah, I don't got anybody on that one.
All right, well, let's do Tyson Chandler then, because I think he'll be lower than Patrick Ewing is.
Tyson Chandler, 7%.
Stunningly low, honestly.
Way low. Yeah, honestly, there's someone we're missing. There's no way. All right, All NBA. All NBA USA.
Well, give me a random good NBA player. Or no, you know what? Let me go ISO on this. It's any All NBA team, right?
Yes, with that team. With that team, though.
No. But for USA,
it doesn't matter because it's USA. Yeah, okay.
All right, ready? Al Jefferson.
I was gonna say Joe Johnson. Al Jefferson works.
That's why I love like Joe Johnson. Al Jefferson made one random third team while we were doing this podcast.
Wow, 0.3. Holy moly.
Let's go.
10 rebounds, All NBA. Who was it that we know is really low? Is it Zach Randolph? That's like right there. Somebody's at like 10,000 on the dot almost.
That's so funny. I know I'm with Joe Johnson and 20K. I know it's that.
Yeah.
Besides that, I don't know if there's anybody like right on the border. I mean, any good player though. Like, give me a good center. I'm rapid fire. You can go ISO here. Give me somebody good.
Dwight Howard, or we could go Andre Drummond with Nets All NBA probably, right? Do you think he made it on the
No,
Nets?
not with the Nets. He didn't make it with the Nets.
He's All NBA 10K.
Did Andre Drummond make an All NBA team?
He had to. He was pulling in like 20 boards a game at one point.
Yeah, but he was shooting like 28% from the line then.
So do we just
like it would have been with the Pistons.
Yes, of course. Yeah, with the Pistons is when we would. Oh, you know who else we could do? LaMarcus Aldridge. You think he has 10K?
Well, you can try Drummond. We can try Drummond.
Where? Which Nets?
With
or
10.
Do you want to do 10?
No, with 10. No, it'd be with 10.
I think
Drummond. Oh God, I mean, I'll feel good about it, but nice, dude. All right.
He's got a Sixers jersey too. That's Sixers, right? Or is that
yeah?
Clippers?
Well, I mean, he's on the roster currently, so
I think it might not be Sixers. Is that?
No, it's definitely no. It's
is it? Okay, I was like, I don't recognize that logo on the side there. Wow.
Dude, Andre Drummond made one All NBA team. He's like Al Jefferson. He made 2015, 2016. He made third team.
Hell yeah.
All right. Brooklyn and All NBA.
Did Bridges make it?
I don't think he did that year.
Okay.
He was very good there. I don't think he made it that year.
Did what's his name make it after leaving the Lakers?
Maybe. Who?
Russell? Is it Russell? Is that D'Angelo Russell?
Dude. Oh my God. I'm trying to remember.
D'Angelo Russell might be
God, he would be kind of one of those third teamers.
He was cooking too. Remember, he was playing really
No, he was really good.
If not like Paul Pierce, Garnett.
I'm trying to even remember if they made it then. That's the thing.
Weren't they really good during the regular season? Like, weren't they like, or did they just totally flounder? Like, it never worked out.
The team was good, but I don't know if they were individually like the ones that come to mind for me as obvious ones are like locks are KD, Jason Kidd, who we already used, so we can't do that.
Kyrie?
I think Kyrie probably made one there. And then my sleeper, honestly, is I wonder, do you think Marbury made one there?
Oh, maybe.
Marbury was kind of. I don't think D. Will made one there. I'm worried about him in the way that I'm worried about. Like I would be, if anybody, it'd be Joe. I feel like Joe Johnson would have made it there,
Joe.
but I still don't think he did in Brooklyn either.
Steve Nash didn't go to the Nets at any point, did he?
No, he coached there, but
that's why I was like, why do I feel like he's affiliated with the Nets for some
No,
reason?
coach there. I don't know, like Vince Carter probably made it there too.
Vince would be a good one.
D'Angelo
Russell would be so sneaky.
Oh my God, it would be. And it's like in the Drummond category of like, I feel like you're onto something and it's kind of genius, but I'm also like,
let's not risk
there's
it.
There's no way D'Lo made a top, like he made a third team, did he?
Maybe. All right, you just want to go with someone else then? Joe? Or who else?
I don't feel good about Joe either, honestly. Like I don't want to be chalky. I mean, we use Kid already, so I guess we gave it chalky. I don't want to do Durant, but like I would do Kyrie, or I would maybe go Marbury would be the one where I'd go out on a limb.
Harden didn't get it there, right?
God, it's so tough because he was there for such a short period of time that I'm like not 100. Like a part of me feels like he absolutely made it there. But because he was like still like he was coming off the MVP years, like that makes me feel like he was making All NBA every year that year. But like, I don't know, he kind of wasn't.
That year that trade happened, Ben Simmons didn't make it, right?
No, because the Ben trade was after he had sat out for a year. It would have been Ben made All NBA teams, but not with Brooklyn.
Right. So then anybody else, nobody else on that trade would have been.
All right, so you tell me. Do you want to do Kyrie or do you want to do Marbury?
Let's just do Kyrie.
All right, I'm pretty certain Kyrie made it one of those years.
Yeah, 7% too is crazy.
Yeah. All right, so
which one was the one we were surprised about? The 10 rebounds?
I mean, the 10K rebounds is
8 of them.
Yeah, I don't know for the Spurs with outside of
Here we go. So Wemby. Wait.
No, it's 10K.
Wemby.
What?
10K
10K
rebounder?
Wemby, I've got 10K already.
Yeah, what?
I don't know. That's weird.
That seems like a glitch.
Damn. Oh well.
Tim Duncan. Yeah, wait. No, this is just showing. Like, there's no way it's just showing because it's showing Tony Parker, Tim Duncan. Like, this isn't right.
I will see if there's anybody on the border.
Interesting. Yeah.
No, the closest one on the border is Red Kerr is the lowest. There's 49 players that have 10,000 rebounds. Red Kerr is the lowest. He has 10,092. The highest actually active player, he's still active. The next closest to 10K is Kevin Love. Kevin Love is 9,712.
Wow. So the other thing worth mentioning, LaMarcus Aldridge did end up going to the Nets from the Spurs.
Yeah, I just don't think he made All NBA there.
No, but he counts for the trade. Richard Jefferson, like that's the one, we were talking about.
Yeah, you're right.
Maurice Cheeks, Greg Anderson. Wow.
Thad Young, our boy, classic.
Quinn.
Yeah, Aldridge is a big one. We should. That's one.
Garrett Temple is a good one. Okay. Interesting.
Active players with 10K rebounds, by the way. LeBron is the highest, which is so insane. LeBron's the highest at 24. He's got 12,095. Andre Drummond is second. Andre Drummond's number 28 overall. DeAndre Jordan, 35 on the list. Nikola Vucevic and Rudy Gobert are the active players with 10K rebounds currently.
Knicks, Brooklyn, Dikembe might be the only. Jason Kidd, Buck Williams. Those are like the Marbury, like you were talking about, are the bigger names.
Buck Williams is a good boomer one. Like you want to talk about the Nets? Yeah, that's a good one.
Buck Will's crazy. He's got 3 games.
I didn't know. Yeah, I had no idea Nerlens played for Brooklyn. I actually knew he played for the.
Would be a good one too.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even mention Bridges, and we said Bridges a few times. We even mentioned Bridges in that context.
Crawford, Noah Vonleh. Oh my God, Wilson Chandler, Quincy Acey, Jeremy Lin. We mentioned Jeremy Lin. Wayne Ellington.
We did.
Wayne Ellington. I feel like we talked about him a lot one year.
Oh, those are all classic. Like that 2016 to like 2021, like that's the peak of us knowing random guys in the NBA, I feel like. But
we did the random NBA player of the week. Like we did a whole bit about it.
I should bring that back one of these days. That was sneaky. We haven't done that in a long time. That was actually pretty fun.
Oh, this was the one we wanted to see. The Nets all NBA, right? This is the one you pulled.
Oh, there you go. Buck Williams. Okay. Derek Coleman. That's a good one. Marbury did make it. No Vince, though. Wow. That's shocking. Okay, so KD we got right. We got Kyrie, Jason Kidd, Marbury, Derek Coleman. Derek Coleman, man, crazy. Petrovic made it 1 year. Okay, that makes sense. Buck Williams would have been a good one. All right, so our grid one last time, or I should say top answers. For Nets and Spurs, LaMarcus Aldridge. For Spurs, 10K rebounds, Tim Duncan. For Spurs, American-born, David Robinson. For Nets and Knicks, Mikal Bridges. For Knicks, 10K rebounds, Patrick Ewing. For Knicks, American-born, Jalen Brunson. Nets, All-NBA, Kevin Durant. All-NBA and 10K rebounds, Shaq. And All-NBA, American-born, Michael Jordan. Our grid one last time. For Spurs and Nets, we got Patty Mills. For Spurs, 10K rebounds, Pau Gasol. For Spurs, American-born, Harrison Barnes. For Nets and Knicks, Jason Kidd. For Knicks, 10K rebounds, Tyson Chandler. For Knicks, American-born, Elfrid Payton. For Nets All-NBA, Kyrie Irving. For All-NBA and 10,000 career rebounds, Andre Drummond. And for All-NBA and American-born, Al Jefferson. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of the Drive and Dish NBA podcast. Appreciate you guys. Leave us a review, as always, on iTunes. We'll read them on the show. Otherwise, you can find the show wherever you get your podcasts.
And on YouTube, Drive and Dish NBA on YouTube. Watch a video version of the podcast. And just like podcasts, if you subscribe, you'll get notifications when new videos come out.